Melissa.
All right, Bob, thanks. Bob Pisani. Our next guest says that should regulations hit the crypto space, one coin will emerge unscathed. Spencer Bogart is a partner at Blockchain Capital, which invests in a variety of crypto assets. Spencer, great to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Which is the one coin that will emerge unscathed? Because it looks like the price action is showing that every coin is getting hit at this point.
So to say unscathed might be to go too far. But listen, when we're separating Bitcoin, which is the one coin that we're discussing here, from the rest of them, it's certainly the least risky here, right? So what's going on in the market this week? There's a lot of regulatory concern about from the SEC and from the CFTC, right? The SEC is the 900-pound gorilla in the room. The SEC is primarily concerned with securities, right? And the SEC has delineated that some crypto assets are securities and some are not. Now, along a spectrum, Bitcoin is the furthest away from being a security out of all of the crypto assets, in my opinion, and therefore it is the least likely to kind of come under a regulatory crackdown. Now, that said, I think that the long tail of ICOs and tokens that have come out, some of them are going to be at risk, and some of them could face liquidity crunches in the coming weeks.
Now, why is it that Bitcoin is the furthest away from being a security? It's because the money that people, if I buy Bitcoin, that money doesn't go towards a business or towards a core group? I mean, that's the thinking?
Sure. So the SEC has an established framework for thinking about this, and a core portion of that framework is the Howey test. There's 4 prongs of the Howey test. Listen, I am not a securities attorney, so definitely do not rely on my advice here. But a big portion of this is that investors contribute money to a common enterprise with the expectation of profit based primarily on the benefit from or the efforts of others. So in the case of Bitcoin, that's just never has been the case. There was nobody that launched Bitcoin and said, here, I'm going to sell you 20% of the coins for a specific price, right? The software was launched into the world, people started mining it, and it grew organically. There is no central enterprise that receives the money that investors pay for Bitcoin and then deploys it, right? This is a decentralized network with decentralized participants.
Hey, Spencer, do you think that's one reason why Ethereum, or Ether in particular, has underperformed over the last couple of months versus Bitcoin? Because for all intents and purposes, it was an ICO, and there's a lot of ICOs that are built on top of its platform.
Yeah, I think it's more the latter that could be weighing on Ethereum this week. So you're right that Ethereum did itself have an ICO several years ago. That said, I think that if we read between the lines of what the SEC has said prior, it seems to indicate that they do not consider Ethereum to be an ICO. To be a security. But several of the tokens that have launched on top of Ethereum likely are being deemed securities. And if so, we consider Ethereum to kind of be the feedstock or the fuel that people use to participate in these ICOs. Then in that case, we should expect demand to dwindle at least a little bit in this regulatory crackdown.
How does this sort of changing landscape on regulation?
So if you haven't seen my previous video, I'm actually bullish on Ethereum. I understand that some people are afraid, but I mean, the statement there kind of shows that Ethereum is probably not going to deal with the regulations from the SEC. And yes, right now Bitcoin seems like the safest bet because it is 100% decentralized and a currency, but the price drop of Ethereum I think is not warranted because if you think about it, this is a global asset, right? And obviously the US, there's a lot of trading and there's a lot of money to be invested from the US, but you got the entire world outside of that as well. So, you know, what the SEC does with some of these, you know, ICOs and stuff like that, it makes sense. They, you know, they do need to prevent scams, but you know, long term, I still think that the regulations are good. It's going to make it where these ICOs are safer, and that's going to thus make Ethereum a better play. And I actually like both, but to just put all your money into Bitcoin and to run away from Ethereum because it has tanked more than Bitcoin, I think is not a good idea. I would pick up both. My price levels are much lower though. Ethereum, I would start buying if it goes under 700. I already have orders for Ethereum under 700. For Bitcoin, for me, because I've already been able to purchase a large amount under 8,000, I'm not really going to pick up any more Bitcoin unless it goes under 8,000. And I have limit orders. I put aside a good amount of money to buy Bitcoin at 5,000, at 4,000. Now, I don't know if it's going to drop to that low, but that's the kind of person that I am, is I want to get a really good deal, especially now that I've already made an initial investment. I'm not going to be putting more money in unless, you know, there's a true fire sale for crypto assets, and we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think. I think that both currencies, you can't really go wrong. And if you go too much to one, I think that's not a good idea. I think that if you stay diversified, and especially if you get better, you know, price action on Ethereum. Ethereum goes down more, I would buy more Ethereum. If Bitcoin starts to drop more, then maybe you buy more Bitcoin. But I like getting things on sale, and I recommend that both coins are great, look great long term. Same with Litecoin too. I also like Litecoin as well. But you know, buy them when you can get them on sale. Go look at the price history, and if you're new to the market, obviously these are not bad prices to come in. But if you've already invested and you're looking for a deal, I think you can wait. So let me know what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance. And I am very happy we finally hit 2,000 subscribers. So obviously the goal is by the end of the year 10,000, and you know, now we got to look at 3,000 subscribers. When that's going to happen, I don't know, but I'm very bullish on this channel as well. I'll talk to you guys soon, and have a great day.